All right. Hello, everyone. It is I. I need to come up with a new introduction, but I'm starting this channel off shooting from the hip. Anyway, so Emma Watson and J.K. Rowling are having a feud, and normally I don't follow feuds between celebrities because I don't really care about celebrities. But this one's interesting because I was a huge fan of the Harry Potter books and the movies. Yeah, I actually remember reading Harry Potter when the books were new. I was like, dang. So this is a thing for me. Also, as a book author myself, I take a vested interest in this type of thing. But Emma Watson apparently has been lambasted by J.K. Rowling as a fair weather friend. So, for those that don't know, essentially, Emma Watson and J.K. Rowling both were championing the causes of women. They're feminists. They're both of them, and they both happen to. J.K. Rowling wrote an incredible book series that propelled Emma Watson into massive fame. She pretty much made Emma Watson. Like, no, I don't think anyone would even know Emma Watson's name if it wasn't for J.K. Rowling. But when a bunch of people threw smoke at J.K. Rowling for her well known position on the T's in the LGBT community, Emma Watson did not back her up. She turned on her and essentially threw her under the bus. So recently, I'll just start reading the article. So J.K. Rowling has sent a stinging response to Emma Watson after the Harry Potter actress recently spoke about their relationship in a public disagreement over the issue of gender identity. Last week, Watson said she still loves Rowling and refuses to cancel her out, despite their differences on the subject. But on Monday, the author responded by saying her own feelings towards her former friend had soured after she says Watson publicly poured petrol on the flames of the debate at the peak of threats against her. So Rowling wrote on X. Actually, does this lead there? Oh, okay. I can read the actual text right here. Okay. This should be interesting. Maybe I should actually just read this. Okay. I'm just going to read J.K. Rowling's words directly. So, I'm seeing quite a bit of comment about this, so I want to make a couple of points. I'm not owed eternal agreement from any actor who once played a character I created. The idea is as ludicrous as me checking with the boss I had when I was 21 for what opinions I should hold these days. Emma Watson and her co stars have every right to embrace gender identity ideology. Such beliefs are legally protected, and I wouldn't want to see any of them threatened with loss of work or violence or death because of them. However, Emma and Dan in particular have both made it clear over the last few years that they think our former professional association gives them a particular right, nay, obligation to critique me and my views in public. Years after they finished acting in Potter, they continue to assume the role of de facto spokespeople for the world I created. Yeah. When you've known people since they were 10 years old, it's hard to shake a certain protectiveness. Until quite recently, I hadn't managed to throw off the memory of a children who needed to be gently coaxed through their dialogue in a big scary film studio. For the past few years, I've repeatedly declined invitations from journalists to comment on Emma specifically, most notably on the witch trials of J.K. Rowling. Ironically, I told the producers that I didn't want her to be hounded as the result of anything I said. This is why you should never piss off book authors. I'm going to actually see how long this post is. Okay. This is why you should never... She wrote this eloquently. Anyway, the television presenter in the attached clip highlights Emma's all witches speech, and in truth, that was a turning point for me. Yeah, that's Emma showed up and basically said, "I'm here for all the witches," and at an event, and it riled up Miss Rowling's feathers, and that's exactly the history behind this. So, in truth, that was a turning point for me, but it had a postscript that hurt far more than the speech itself. Emma asked someone to pass on a handwritten note from her to me, which contained the single sentence, "I'm so sorry for what you're going through." She has my phone number. This was back when the death, rape, and torture threats against me were at their peak, and at a time when my personal security measures had to be heightened considerably, and I was constantly worried for my family's safety. Emma had just publicly poured more petrol on the flames, yet thought a one-line expression of concern from her would reassure me of her fundamental sympathy and kindness. Okay, I understand this better because I actually had a friend do this to me on social media. So this was at my school. I made a post about a position. I will not say the friend's name. I will not say what the position was. But some people at the school that were following me, this was on Facebook, back when Facebook was a thing, they actually commented and lambasted me on Facebook for the position I took. Actually, I'll just tell you. I said I think a lot of these food stamp programs should be shrunk or cut entirely because they get abused. And I had a video showing a woman bragging about abusing them. Anyway, I had one friend of mine, good friend. I knew this guy. We'd gone to lunch several times. There was another friend's house we went to hang out. That guy actually was the most argumentative in that post I posted. And then later he sent me a DM saying, "Hey man, I kind of get it." But I was like, you sent me the DM in private, but you were arguing with me over here on... It's a cowardly thing to do. This is cowardly. I will continue. Like other people who've never experienced adult life uncushioned by wealth and fame, Emma has so little experience of real life she's ignorant of how ignorant she is. She'll never need a homeless shelter. She's never going to be placed on a mixed-sex public hospital ward. I'd be astounded if she's been in a high-street changing room since childhood. Her public bathroom is single occupancy and comes with a security man standing guard outside the door. She has had to strip off in a newly mixed-sex changing room at a council-run swimming pool. Is she ever likely to need a state-run Great Crisis Center that refuses to guarantee an all-female service, to find herself sharing a prison cell with a male grapist who's identified into the women's prison? Emma Watson. She's not going to experience any of this for sure. I wasn't a multimillionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. I therefore understand from my own life experience what the trashing of women's rights in which Emma has so enthusiastically participated means to women and girls without her privileges. The greatest irony here is that had Emma not decided in her most recent interview to declare that she loves and treasures me, a change of tack I suspect she's adopted because she's noticed full-throated condemnation of me is no longer quite as fashionable as it was, I might never have been this honest. Adults can't expect to cozy up to an activist movement that regularly calls for a friend's assassination, then assert their right to the former friend's love as though the friend was in fact their mother. Emma is rightfully free to disagree with me and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public, but I have the same right and I finally decided to exercise it. Yeah, that's a colossal slap in the face to Emma Watson. That's a dressing down, if I ever saw a dressing down. Dang. Get him, Miss Rowling. I'm a book author also, by the way, but Miss Rowling is like goals for all book authors. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Look out for fair weather friends, my fellow audience, and don't reward them. Keep them at a far distance. Remember, a false friend is actually more dangerous to you than a declared enemy. Having said that, farewell and following seas, guys. Take it easy.